Hi, welcome, and thank you for being here. Hopefully the stream goes a little better this time than it did last week. It was pretty glitchy. Oops, forgot to turn that down. And thanks for watching, by the way, Russ. Russ watched last week for a time and tipped me off that the audio was glitching out and the signal wasn't the greatest. So hopefully that's improved this time. I also can see that the camera's a little bit crooked. I might try to fix that. Here's Stevie. I wanted to include him for a minute before we got started because he's a little hellion. He's a little pistol. He's a little green pistol. And I'm going to actually put him away, and then I'm going to fix the camera here. Because, yeah, that looks crooked. It's bugging me. It's because everything is janky in here. This place is on a slope a little bit for some reason. And then just everything, my little, what do you call it? Tripod isn't the greatest. It's always, for some reason, been a little bit crooked. So I'm just doing the best I can, right? With limited means and limited space and limited materials to be able to set up and break down all the time and do this work. And I'm trying to brighten it up a little bit in here so it's not so dark during the live stream. The uploads they do a good job, my phone does, of kind of adjusting for the lack of light, but live streams, it seems to not be doing that so much. So anyways, yeah, let's see what's coming up here for this layout. When I pulled cards on it earlier, it was about an apology. And it seems like there's somebody who's going to be showing up possibly to make an apology, or is worried that their apology may be too late. They're thinking about making an apology, but something has them bound up where they're not doing it. They're not necessarily making the apology yet, or they're thinking about it. They're still weighing it out. They're going back and forth about it. But really the sense that I got from the spread, which is the thumbnail of this reading, is that there is going to be an apology made. And it looks like someone's here. Hi. Hello there, Katalea. I hope I pronounced your name right. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to be able to have the capacity to do lives finally. I didn't have a strong enough signal for a long time, and that was a whole separate battle to just get my own internet here and get it separated from the other person's internet on. You'd think it wouldn't be a battle, but it was, to just get my own internet going and get my account removed and separated from the other account. So since I did that, though, it's boosted my capacity and I have better internet now to do live streaming. So yeah, there's an apology coming in. I also saw the word bell when I pulled the tiles, which is really interesting because bells represent clarity. They represent spirituality and reaching towards the higher realms. They can also kind of cleanse the energy around you. You also can consider them kind of deliverers of tone. And tone and sound is healing, right? Like, all you need to do is look around at Sound Bath, right? Which is blown up, is huge now to do Sound Bath, right? And so, bell, someone might be going through receiving spiritual clarity, going through an awakening. Yeah, it's just was interesting to also have that little word bell come through. And then I was noticing someone had posted, when I was looking up the meanings of bells, someone had posted the parts of a bell, which I had never thought about. And they're called the crown, the body, the sound bow, the lip, and the yoke, which to me also was really interesting, like super interesting language. So, anyways, bells, right? Like, I love bells. I have, a few bells. Like, I'd like to have more bells, honestly, actually, spiritual bells, like to ring for sound healing. But anyways, yeah, I'm a little bit distracted, sorry. There were two other things that came through in addition. We're going to pull cards and do divination work around the apology and the what that might be about for people in the collective. There were two other kind of channeled things that came through as well ahead of knowing and wanting to talk about the apology. And one is a story that from my childhood, which is that I remember growing up and even into high school, like thinking that Aaron Neville, the musician, was kind of milquetoast. Like the music he was making around the time that I was having exposure to it was his duet with Linda Ronstadt called Don't Know Much, which is actually a beautiful song, but at the time it wasn't really for me. And I just remember thinking like, yeah, Aaron Neville's really like, he's for the innocent. like he does, like, for some reason I even associated him with like kids music, and I don't know, like there must have just been something going on in his career at the time when I was paying attention that I had the like way wrong impression of Aaron Neville, because if you go back into Aaron Neville's musical career and life, it's phenomenal, right? Like he does amazing funk and R&B work from the 70s that I am obsessed with. I love his song Hercules. Like Aaron Neville is not milquetoast, right? But there's something about that that's significant. Like you only having one version of somebody so that you just kind of like, not you meaning the collective, I mean you, like one has only so much exposure to a person, so they get like a way incomplete picture of who they actually are. That's like how I was with Aaron Neville. It wasn't until I was an adult that I was like, holy shit, Aaron Neville, the Neville brothers, like what was I was way off. Like he's way more than that, right? And it would be the same with someone like Eddie Murphy, right? Like if you grew up in the 90s and 2000s, maybe you would think that Eddie Murphy only did things like The Nutty Professor and, you know, things that were a little bit more family friendly. But that's not how Eddie Murphy started, right? Eddie Murphy started with like, not Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but what was his name for that SNL skit, right? And then like the hot tub skit from that SNL time that he was on, Raw, Delirious, like those are not for kids. Eddie Murphy was like a completely different iteration of himself back then. So there's something to that, like not having the complete picture about somebody, or writing someone off as naive or innocent or goody when really they have this whole other shadow side. And I don't say shadow with a negative connotation, right? But like an edgier side maybe, or something, right? There's something about that that's going to have significance for someone. And then finally, the last thing that I was picking up on, which made me laugh because I love this show, it's Daria from the show animated series Daria, which is an amazing show. It's hilarious. And her sister Quinn has this little friends group, right? Because Mean Girls have been kind of coming through a lot for me. Not the movie, but just the concept of being a mean girl. And not that Quinn was a mean girl necessarily, but she was a popular girl for sure. And she and her friends from the fashion club at school, she has this one friend, Tiffany. And Tiffany is like, oh, really? Do you like that? I think so. Like, just really like Valley Girl to the extreme way of speaking. And there's something about that character from Daria that is significant, and the way she talks. Like, you might know someone like that. It's giving like someone who's driving you crazy. And that's who they were showing me, was Tiffany from Daria, which I love her as a character. I think she's completely hilarious. Like, what? Oh my God, really? And there's just something really, really funny about her. So, and that whole show in general. So that's all for all the preliminary stuff. Now I'll just go ahead and get into this layout. Oh, nice. Hi, David. Hi, Earl and Flora. And, in living color. Yeah. Sorry. I'm still finding my way with lives and attending to the chat. So I want to acknowledge people in the chat, but sometimes I might get carried away with what I'm doing and space out and forget to look at the chat. So just know that I'm really glad that you're here. And we're going to end up, I'm actually not going to, well, yeah, I'll use this deck because it's the one I used before. Let's get into it. Let's just see what we've got going here in terms of this apology. Is someone coming in to give an apology or what? What's going on? It's not too late. This person was really in their emotions about making the apology. It had to do possibly with love, because the Ten of Cups was present and also the Lover's card. So it was something really, you know, the apology was going to bring in a lot of joy, but there was also something that seemed to be preventing it. But the feeling that I picked up was like, this is going to happen. It's going to be a win. Once this apology takes place, there might be room for a lot more to happen or something, right? So let's just see what happens. Who's apologizing? What's going on? What's the apology about? And what does it have to do with for the collective? How's it going to impact the collective? Yeah, there was a feeling about this person who's been thinking about the apology might be worried that it's too late. Like, what's the point? It's probably already too late. Especially if it's in love, there was a feeling about that. And this is here. This Knight of Pentacles, King of Swords, he's worried that maybe he's too late, okay? He's worried that he let too much time go by and that it's too late. He was too slow moving, either that or he wasn't moving at all. He was too slow about everything. He has decided or feels at this point where he's at in his mind that it's too late and that he's going to have to move on his own and find his own way here with this Nine of Pentacles. He's very sad about it. And like everyone always says, you can switch this. It doesn't always have to be strictly masculine if it's a king and a knight. It can be a feminine showing up in masculine energy and their masculine pole of their energy. It doesn't even have to be gender, right? So someone's worried. Someone really is feeling hurt and sorrowful in their heart. They feel like it's too late to make this apology, and they feel like they're gonna not really have to be, I mean, they're okay. It's like they know they're gonna be okay on their own, but really they don't feel okay. They feel pretty sorrowful. They're struggling to have hope, because this is the vulnerability position and it's the Star card. So this person is really feeling down and out. They feel like it's too late. They've lost hope. They feel like they're going to have to find a way to be okay by themselves. They're way in their head, because at the very center of this Tetractys is the Nine of Swords. Okay. Their strength is that they may go ahead and try to make some kind of a gesture. Okay. This is in their strength position. They don't feel strong though, because it's a page and they're actually a king, but they don't feel like they're in a strength position to make any kind of a gesture or offer. The page that came through in the preliminary card pull was the Page of Cups. And so the Page of Pentacles is like another version of that in relative to this apology to some degree, because it's a strength that they have something to offer, but they may not see it because they've lost hope and they're really in their head. But they do have something to offer here. They can make a practical decision. They can make some type of a gesture of communication or olive branch or whatever. It doesn't even have to be a grand gesture, right? This is a page. It could be just that they need to make a shift out of this Nine of Swords confusion that they're in and recognize, I can at least make the effort, or I'm sorry, I can at least make the gesture, right? Their shadow is fearful for whatever reason, and their shadow is like, no, don't make any moves here. It's too late. Give up. You fucked this up, right? Like, their shadow is not doing them any favors right now. This might be a really harsh inner critic of theirs that's really like, no, you blew it, dude. Like, blah, 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 whatever. Their shadow is in their way a little bit about saying, don't make any moves. They want to come racing forward with this apology, okay? In their conscious mind, it's like all they can think about. they may even, in their reasonable mind, know that an apology is a good thing to do, even if nothing comes of it from them. If you think of something like 12-step, when you get to the step that's making amends, like, people are often really nervous about doing that because it means they have to go and face all of the harm that they may have caused when they were really active in their addiction. And so sometimes people will be like, well, what's the point? It's all in the past. Like, why? Well, it's for their own healing, and it can possibly bring healing to the party who felt hurt, right, by the addict's behavior. So, I mean, you don't always want to make an apology. Sometimes, and in fact, this king might be worried about that. Like, my apology, me coming in to make an apology might even cause more harm. They might be, and he is a king, so he might be thinking like that, right? Like, maybe I delayed so long and was not on this so in such a way that I'll cause this person harm if I try to reach out to them to apologize, right? But in their conscious mind, they really want to do it. They want to race towards the situation to make the apology. There's just really in their head. They want to build, though, with this person that they need to apologize to. In the preliminary pull, like I said, it seemed like it might have something to do with love. But let's see. What is the apology? I got a new deck that came in the mail today that's like a clarifying deck. I'm so excited, but I already checked the mail today and it's way up a hill. So I'm going to have to wait to use that deck until tomorrow. What is the apology? What's it about? What happened here, or what was the situation? They may have gotten clarity, though, right? With that bell that came through in the tile pull, they may have gotten some clarity that, like, you know, understanding something that went down in the past, possibly that they didn't understand before, that they now do. What is the apology? Oh my God, they may feel like they betrayed you, possibly, with this Ten of Swords. My God, my shoulders have just been up here, like it's driving me crazy. Trying to consciously tell them, relax, relax. So they may feel like they really betrayed you in some way. Yeah, the Devil card, the Ten of Swords, they might have a really major apology to make, and that's why they're so in their head about it, because this might not have been a minor thing. Yeah, they're very, very sorry about this. They may have been, if speaking about addiction, and the Devil card is here, the Devil can sometimes represent an addictive process, right? So they might have done some things in an addictive process that now they need to come back and make an amends for, and they are, they feel just, I mean, in their mind, it's like they did the ultimate wrong here with this Ten of Swords and this Five of Wands. They feel really like it was egregious. What was the betrayal? What happened? Because this isn't light. Like, the Ten of Swords is like, holy shit, this person feels terrible about something. Really terrible. What's the Ten of Swords? What happened? So here's the Eight of Swords again. That came through in the preliminary pull. It was the thumbnail for this live broadcast. It's like they started something and then they got caught up in something else. And it's like, I think what happened, what's the Seven of Pentacles? It's like they started something with you, possibly, and led you to believe that it was going to be something like you were going to be together, possibly, or there might have been a marriage involved here that is now got them feeling in a trap. Maybe they went and married somebody else. Like, I don't know. What's the Seven of Pentacles? It's like they were working towards some type of joyful, happy marriage or outcome, like union, and then something got them trapped up in it and they never communicated about it, or if they do communicate about it, it's going to be pretty quickly here and fairly soon, even though they're pretty doubtful about it. Okay, I'm just making sure that hopefully the connection's going okay. It looked like it was glitchy there for a minute. So yeah, I'm curious what this could have been. Let me get some Kipper or Lenormand. Oh, here they are right here. Tell us about the betrayal. Like what was the betrayal here? What was the betrayal? They felt entrapped in something and they still do. Like they're definitely trapped in their head. And it's a King of Swords here. He feels like he took too long. He or she or they, right? He's really, really sorrowful about it. He's feeling entirely conflicted and ashamed about this betrayal, whatever it is. What happened? What is the betrayal? It has to do with money. There was some sort of trickster energy here with this fox around wealth, and there was confusion created by a deceptive party here, okay, by somebody really deceptive and really toxic. Someone created a lot of confusion, and it might have been for this King of Swords. Who caused the confusion? Who caused this confusion? Somebody really dark, okay? Somebody with really bad ill humor, bad temper, a betrayer, somebody very toxic, someone very deceptive. They sowed a lot of confusion, and it's a trick around wealth. It's some kind of a money scam possibly that had very serious consequences to you, or they just know that you're going to be shocked that they even got wrapped up in something like this. They might have been involved in stealing money or something. I don't know exactly. Yeah, and now here's a triangle. So there's two feminine energies here and an ending to some. So they really, I mean, whatever this is, it's been a huge mess. It's kind of, I'm going to pull some Kipper too just to get extra clarity, but it's definitely coming through around theft and abundance. And there's going to be some type of working together here. I'll pull on that too. Like, what is that? Is that going to be you're going to, like you're going to work together now once this apology is made, or what? I don't know. We'll see. This is a very intriguing story though, that's for sure. What happened? What happened with this money theft? What was it? Someone really shady was involved. I don't know if this was this king doing really fucked up things. You know, addiction came through more than once, and me just giving examples, so that could be. You know, my brother, rest in peace, Scott, my brother was addicted to opioids for most of his life, starting from really young, in the 70s, way before the crisis of the modern day. He did some shitty things because of his addiction. He committed mail fraud. He did, so it could be something like that, right? That really caused people a lot of problems in terms of their own finances or something. Yeah, this person feels awful. This person is really, really in their head. Again, that's came through here with this Nine of Swords. They feel horrible about this. However it's impacted you, here you are. I think you're this main female here. If we're speaking about a masculine energy, you're coming through as this main female in main person energy. This other party could be the deceiver, or the masculine could be. It's hard to say. It anchored in something really, I don't know what. Yeah, honestly, to me, it looks like this person also, okay, this is what it's giving. This person could have been with you, but they went with somebody else. They got into a relationship with somebody else. Well, it turns out that this relationship has been very, very destructive. It's been very toxic. It may be that it's not that there's one or two, the other person in this relationship between this king and this third party here, this other feminine energy. It may be that they were both very toxic together, right? It's not, I'm not someone who likes to just, oh my God, the karmic feminine, but your masculinism, like I get annoyed with that sometimes. It might be that they were very bad for each other and created a toxic dynamic between the two of them. Like they were just shouldn't be together. They brought out the worst in each other. But in any case, it caught this person up in some really underhanded stuff, in some potentially illegal things. They also may have married this person, okay, and they don't even know what to do. They are all in a twist and feel completely, it's like they still kind of feel trapped and are lost in a feeling of hopelessness right now. That's not to say that that's not going to change. It is going to change because the original card pull said that it's not too late and you can fix this and this is going to be a win. So what I think is happening is that this person's getting closer and closer to coming in and telling you what happened, explaining the situation, apologizing for however this whole fuckery might have impacted you. But I have the sense that it didn't just impact you. I feel like it impacted a lot of people. There might have been something illegal going on that just keeps coming through. Like maybe they got involved with someone, they didn't realize how toxic they were, and this person got them wrapped up in some illegal shit somehow. That could be, I don't know. It's pretty serious though, whatever it is. This looks very serious. But to me, this card gives wedding. I often think of this card as like a commitment in love, this gift card. So the gift and the court card means to me that this, especially with these two feminine energies here, that this person didn't go with you when they could. They ended up being with someone else. So tell me more now about this Three of Pentacles, because this is where the energy is headed. It's an energy of collaboration. So I'm sure we're all curious, like, well, collaboration with who or what? Like, hopefully you're not wanting to collaborate with someone when they're still all tangled up in this kind of situation. It's hard to say. What is the collaboration with this Three of Pentacles? What's the deal? Whoops. This deck is so hard for me to shuffle. I love it, but I almost always flub the shuffling of it. What's this Three of Pentacles? Where the energy is headed? A Three of Pentacles is like a cooperative coming together to do a project or whatever, or build something. It's a death card. That's interesting. That's an interesting clarifier for the Three of Pentacles. I wouldn't typically expect to see the death card come out as a clarifier for the Three of Pentacles. But it may be that this is going to be a radical, like, death of the old ego situation that got this person caught up in this. I don't know. Death and rebirth of what? Oh my God, yeah, into the Ten of Cups. And this is in the original card pull. So something's about to like do a complete 180 from this horrible betrayal, really messed up theft of money, trickster energy, liar, deceiver energy, triangulation, choosing the wrong person. It's a whole saga. Okay, this is like a whole messed up, whatever went down. It probably really hurt you, honestly, and that's why also this person is so worried about, like, I don't even know if it's too late. If I waited too long to tell this person the truth, right? It's hard to say. But with this Death card and the Ten of Cups, something major is going to happen for the good. And here's the Two of Pentacles again. It's like they've chosen, what is the choice? Yeah, they're choosing their happiness. So they're choosing to leave whatever this is. You obviously have a choice about whether you're going to accept the apology, be involved with this person again. That's a whole other side of this, right? And that might be partly what's holding them back, is they're afraid to approach you, especially if they find out that you don't forgive them, right? That might make it already where they're sorrowful really sorrowful, right? They might feel like they're afraid to face that kind of thing. Just like, not, it's sad really how much people in this culture don't apologize. It's like they think that apologizing means losing face. Well, it really doesn't. It's healing to apologize. You don't want to be overly apologetic, of course, but I'm always amazed at how simple a solution it is to just make an apology, and it would clear the air and move things forward in so many different scenarios, and it just never happens. People will just refuse to apologize. I remember being married at one time in my 20s, and my ex, who I don't have bad feeling about, this is just the way this kind of thing works at times. We ended up splitting up because this person was an active alcoholic. But when they were first going through treatment, they were doing their amends process, they were literally making amends with everyone but me, is what it felt like. And that's not because they weren't apologetic. They were probably the most apologetic about me, but therefore that was like the hardest apology to make. And I remember kind of just waiting because I really wanted the apology, and I felt like it would really go a long way for me and help my own healing. And they eventually gave it, but there was also a little bit of a reluctance to it, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird. People get weirdly hung up over apologizing. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't lose face making an apology. I don't know why more people don't just apologize. And what it's showing me here is that this person wants a rebirth. They want a death to this old way. They want to show you that they're going through a rebirth. They're going through some kind of a spiritual growth. They would love to have the happiness with you that they feel like but they've kind of lost hope. Something's going to shift though. That's what's happening. There's going to be some type of death to the old here that's going to bring in a lot of joy around choosing something different. I'm curious about that now, honestly. Like what might that be? What might happen? What's this death card? It could be that this relationship is over. The other party, the relationship with the other party is over. That could be what the death card is referencing here. He's thinking, again, here, this is the very center of the reading, the Nine of Swords. He's deep in his head, and he's not always thinking clearly. He's got a lot of worries on board right now. This is that other party right here, this young person. He's thinking about that other party. He's wondering what you are thinking about all this. That's where his head is right now. He's like, what is this feminine gonna think when I tell her the truth? What is she gonna be thinking about me and this other person? Like, is she even gonna, like, how am I gonna look in her eyes, right? That's what I was trying to get out. Like, if you're the feminine in this equation, he is thinking, that's what the cards are saying, like, how are you even gonna look at me now once you know the truth, right? Which happens, there's some fear there for him, right? He's afraid that you're gonna just be shocked at whatever he got himself involved in. It's in his home. I mean, it happened in his own home is what it's looking like, and was something that is like upending his entire life. Yeah, there was some kind of other older male involved here too. This is looking like something shocking. Something really shocking took place. So now let's see, what should you know about this? Like, why is this coming out for you? Is this something that you can feel good about, right? Because this person is really, I mean, if you're the masculine, if you're this King of Swords, I keep feeling like you're the feminine here for whatever reason. That's what I've been feeling. If you're this masculine, though, that's catching this, and I'm talking about you, it's important that you understand that it's not too late. That's the big message that came out ahead of this whole reading. It's not too late. You can fix this, and you can make an apology and bring in this Ten of Cups and the Sun card. It's very possible. you may not believe it. Okay, I'm speaking directly to this masculine. You may not believe it because you feel like whatever you got involved in was so horrible that no one's ever going to look at you the same again. This is coming through to tell you that's extreme thinking. That's not what's going on. It's not too late to fix this. It's never too late to make an apology and turn things around and start being on the up and up and doing better. Once you know better, you do better, as they say, right? It's not too late. That's the message. So for you, if you're the feminine in this equation, what do you need to know? What's going to be important for you in terms of protecting yourself here or in terms of moving forward? This is not your work to do, that's for sure. What do you need to know, though, if you're the feminine in this equation? What's important for you to understand? Exchanging gifts. And so this is the second time that gifts has come through. So, I mean, this sounds a little messy, but it could be that you and this masculine could move on together away from this, whatever this horrible circumstance was, and have a marriage of your own, right? That could be, if you're open to it, feminine. Not if you know, if you're like, I'm done, I'm just done, I could never go back, then that's okay. You know, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do anything here. But it's a possibility with this exchanging gifts that this relationship can really heal in beautiful ways once this person comes in with this effort of theirs to apologize or make things right in some way. It's an unfinished symphony. It's an unfinished symphony. Community and observer. So this is advice for you, feminine, and I like to read Colette Baron-Reid's cards or descriptions because I think they're really great and they help bring out of the cards. But I mean, it's saying it straight up here. This is an unfinished symphony. This person's a part of your community, or perhaps you're going to build community together if this person decides to come forward with their apology. What I'm also sensing is that you should be an observer in this equation and not feel like you need to do anything here. Things are changing pretty quickly from this person coming out of their worries and taking action. So unfinished symphony in the reverse says, when unfinished business casts a shadow over your life, it's a reminder that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. Well, that's a message for this King of Swords, and as far as I'm concerned. It's not in your best interest to stall. Even stumbling forward is better than holding back. Don't overthink things or let yourself get distracted. Just tie up any loose ends and deliver the results. Don't quit before the finish line. Spirit wants you to win. Fucking A. That's exactly what words came out in the tiles. It's not too late, okay? You can fix this. That message is for the masculine. Maybe the masculine is the one that's going to catch this reading. And the masculine needs to hear, like, get out of your head. You're catastrophizing. You're making this a lot more like grave or serious about what you're going to do than it needs to be, and it's stalling you out. It's keeping you stagnant. You're just circling and circling in your head, right? The very center card was the Nine of Swords, and that's a card of that exact issue. Just going around and around and around in your head, letting your thoughts get the better of you, right? That's not going to work here. You need to stop overthinking it and just move. Make a move forward, do something, and it's going to break everything open here. That's the first advice. Community in the reverse, card number 8. In the reverse, beware of compromising your integrity in order to belong. How do you dim your light or change yourself so others will accept you in the group? Do you hide who you really are in order to play a role within the larger whole? This will never fulfill you. Now is the time to assess your willingness to be real. Stand tall. Be you. Authenticity is true self-expression and the only way to empower yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself and step into that role your heart tells you to take. Making yourself small bears too high a cost. And to me, making yourself small, again, for the masculine, is by hiding from standing tall, facing what happened, telling the truth, and being real about it. Nobody's perfect, right? Like, I remember one time, I just decided, like, I'm going to be involved with this guy even though I know he's got a girlfriend. This was my old boyfriend, Canito, in Mexico. Wherever you are, te quiero todavía, right? I still care about him. I haven't spoken to him in years. But he was with someone. He had a girlfriend. He was a serial cheater, I just have to say. He was not someone who valued fidelity. But I remember thinking, like, fuck it. You know, people cheat, you know, whatever. I'm going to play. I'm going to go ahead and do that, whatever. Well, I got burned for one. I ended up feeling ashamed too, especially when I came face to face with his girlfriend. I felt like complete shit. And it was like, this isn't for me. I shouldn't have done this. I learned a lot though. And now I can stand tall and say, yeah, I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't true to who I was. I was wanting to not be accountable to anything and just live how I wanted to live and fuck any sense of propriety or whatever. Well, I learned a big lesson. Does that mean I'm an evil, horrible person? No, it means I learned. Nobody's perfect, okay? So if you stand tall, you can get through whatever this apology is. And then finally, card number 49. In the upright. Sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. Great. That's good messaging for both of you, it strikes me. So I'll just pull a couple more cards here and then maybe some tiles, and that'll be it. Thank you again so much for being here. What are some final messages from the cards about this situation? Anything final about this apology or... I mean, there was a legal situation here, so there might still be some stuff that needs cleaning up, but it didn't strike me as extreme. There weren't tons and tons of legal cards or authorities involved, and like none of that really came through. So it strikes me that this king might be overreacting to how serious he thinks what he did is, and it's really not that bad, or it's not that deep, as they say, right? It's not that deep. Just do something. Here's some final messages. Thank you. Devil. Flight. Give me a second here with this because I'm still learning this deck too. Devil in the reverse from Hexen. I'm getting better at remembering what these mean, but I can't remember what this means in the reverse. Are the restraints you perceive actually a blessing in disguise? Interesting. Doing as you will, free of social restriction, feels like something worth believing in. But even lore and faith seem to require a figure who can bear responsibility or whom we can blame for our misbehavior at any rate. Things certainly seem more entertaining when they're around. In the end, though, we must settle our own accounts. Yeah, okay, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. And then flight. I mean, that strikes me as like getting buttoned up and getting serious and cleaning up your act and getting on the straight and narrow. Sometimes people feel like that's restraining, but really it's what you need. It's what this king needs, is what I'm hearing. Flight. In the upright. Go for it. Indulge yourself. Yeah, okay. Freedom can come with acknowledging who you are and how you want to be. Maybe you really are who everyone thinks you are. Find like-minded individuals who offer support, comfort, and community. Slip free of restrictive earthly bonds and let your spirit soar. Go for it. Indulge yourself. So hopefully this message is going to reach this king. It may also be for you as the feminine here, just so that you know that this is going on. And so you're getting a glimpse into the fact that this person actually does care about how their actions affected you. They're thinking very seriously about making the apology and coming towards you. But right now they're really in their head about it, and they're going back and forth and having trouble seeing their way to it. This is saying it's going to happen, though. There's going to be a shift here. It's going to be fixed, and it can be a win. If you're the feminine, what should you do? I know I asked that, and then it seemed like it came up with advice for the masculine there. What should you know, feminine, if you're the one catching this reading? Do you have reason to be hopeful that this person's actually going to do this, or are they just going to be thinking about it forever? Do you have reason to hope here, feminine? Hunger in the reverse. Jesus. That's too many. I'm not going to take those cards. Hunger in the reverse. Not everything is your problem to solve. Okay, so that's what I kind of suspected, but that's just your advice. Like, it's not your problem to solve this. It's probably going to be helpful to hear this, though, for you. It's not for you to fix it. Just let this person figure it out. Don't go chasing them down. Where's my apology, right? Like, just let them come to you. They're working their way there. They feel like they've been too slow, and now they want to move quickly because they're worried it's too late. So my sense is you're not going to have too much to worry about, that it's going to happen pretty quickly. So now I'll just pull some more tiles, and then that will do it here. Thank you for the compliment on the lights, Earl. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know what you mean, Flora. Rebuking witchcraft. Hell yeah. I don't want any witchcraft being practiced against me, that's for sure. Any final messages here? I feel like maybe I got too many of these. I was trying to wrap this up, and now it might be a minute here. So we'll see what comes out here. These could just be some confirmation words for you to help you know that this is your reading, or there could, sometimes it gets very specific with these tiles. Wag. Dog might have meaning here. Mutt. Yeah, look at that. Wag and mutt. Someone's dog is in play here. Someone might have a dog. Someone likes dogs. A dog can be an icebreaker, you know. Yikes. Okay, so we have the word RAPE here. Normally I wouldn't go looking for a word like that, but it was just practically right there. So someone, I don't know how that ties into this. This king might have had to defend himself against this person's false accusations. For example, this false person that came into their life might have started extorting them in some way. I know that that's a little random and outlier late in the game kind of message, but for that word to come out is striking, especially because of this card in the Lenormand can often indicate that kind of energy, deception and sexually based deception in some way. So normally as a feminist, I'm someone who's like, if a woman is going somewhere and saying that they've been assaulted, you believe them, first of all. And then if more evidence comes out down the road that it's not true, then okay. But so many people don't believe women that it's really important to believe them. But in this case, kind of what I'm picking up is possibly that this person made a false accusation against them of sexual assault. Okay. Lana could be significant. The name Lana or Alan. Mug, someone might have gotten arrested at some point and had to have a mug shot taken. Lid, I don't know what that would mean, but lid, it's right there. Washington, someone might live in Washington. Plan is here. Andrea is a name here. Andrea. La is someone's name. Twan is coming through as a name. Twan. Dream. Someone's dreams might be important here. Or this is a dream, right? This Sun and Ten of Cups is definitely a dream. Pham might be someone implicate or involved in this equation. Pham. Wing. Luna. Wig. Someone might wear a wig. Amanda is here. Dre. Tulum. Oh no, sorry. But that came through, so I'm just going to go with it. Tulum, even though there's not two U's. Guilt. He feels terrible about this, or his guilt may have been in question at one point, his guilt or innocence. But I already picked up that he feels very guilty about how this has impacted you for whatever reason. You'll know what your situation is. Andar is here. Like to move in Spanish. Liar. Somebody is a liar. Okay, there was a very deceptive person here. Wage. There was that wealth that came through, so there might have been something about someone's wages. I don't know. Demand. So this person might have been making demands, like extorting them is what came through earlier. I used the word extortion, or blackmail could be involved. AG just came through, the Attorney General. Okay, this is random, but it's coming through. Captain Adama from, what's that show? Battlestar Galactica? PhD. Someone might be getting their PhD. Dina. Gina. Elaine. Rut. Someone feels stuck in a rut, possibly. I don't know. All right. I think I'll wrap this up. I'll pull one more card here and then we'll call it good. What's a good final message for this collective reading here? What's a good final message? Oh, geez, I bent one of these cards somehow. I'm sorry, cards. What's a good final message for us? Data. I just picked up data. Sorry, I know I said I was done, but that's came through kind of strong. Something about data. The spider and passion flower. Oh my gosh, two things that I love. I love spiders and I love passion flower. I don't love all spiders. I don't want a spider on me, but I do love them. Here's the book right here. Spider and passion flower. Let's see what this says. Passion flower is associated with Jesus. Spiders represent a balance of light and dark, cunning yet patient. They spin intricate webs that are both beautiful and deadly. The passion flower is a vining flower that has come to symbolize faith. And there was that star card. This king is having trouble keeping hope up. It was named by 16th century Jesuit missionaries who associated the plant with the Passion of Christ. Its filaments represent the crown of thorns, its 10 petals, the faithful apostles, and so on. In the reverse, this card means stagnation. To overcome a creative block, try to be like the spider, innovative and adept. Have faith that your quiet efforts will pay off in the end. How do I overcome an obstacle using my talents? When have I solved a problem using my ingenuity in the past? So that's good advice for both of you. Although feminine, if it's you that's catching this reading, it's not for you to do any work here. This is nothing. You're just being a witness to this whole thing. You don't have to do anything about any of it. So thank you. I hope that is a good layout for someone out there. And hi, Tamsy. Thank you for being here. Nice to see you and say hi. I just finished up. So I will see you in the next one, and be good out there. Stay dangerous. Oops, what's going on here?